If it's got wheels and an engine, we're gonna check it out. Welcome to Island Driver TV. We'll head out to the 50th State Fair to watch some car-crushing monster truck action and find out what it takes to drive one of these beasts. We check out an automobile swap meet and find out just how many parts you have to buy to make your own car. And Ed Kemper checks out some classic cars with the Antique Car Club out of Diamond Head. So get on that couch and buckle up, because Island Driver TV starts now.
If you love cars, if you're looking to buy one, or if you need an automotive tip, keep watching, because Island Driver TV starts now. Get behind the wheel of the latest cars with Ed Kemper. Take a look at locals and their sweet rides. Learn what it's like to drive some of Hawaii's most unusual vehicles, plus a whole lot more. Island Driver TV.
We've run over buses, we run over motorhomes. I've done travel trailers, I've done motorhomes. Yeah, I've done a regular house trailer, went through the middle of a house trailer at times. So, you just never know, everybody's got an idea what to do and they think it's great and wonderful, but someone's got to do it once in a while. So basically this truck, it's all custom made. It's got a 600 cubic inch Chevy big block motor in it, 400 turbo. Goes into the planetary gears in the rear ends. So it creates all the power at the wheels, instead of just at the rear end. But this truck was rebuilt 3 years ago. I completely destroyed it and had to rebuild it. So this is basically probably the 60th show on it since I've rebuilt it. It's my first time here in Hawaii, and that's just a great thing, to be able to bring my truck and showcase it here. Everything changes, every show's different, every arena's different. I've been doing this for 38 years. I just got nominated in the Hall of Fame this last year after all these years. But every show is a complete different show. No track's the same, every car's different, and the people are all different. Some people, the more they yell, the more they scream, the more we like it. You don't want to break the truck, you don't want to pop an axle or something and not be able to perform. I mean, roll over, well, you just roll it back over. It's body damage, it's fiberglass, you can fix it. But, if it gets to where if you pop a motor or transmission, you can't finish what you're doing, that's the worst. For me, that's the worst thing, because I want to finish what I start. That's why I do this for a living, is to go out there, entertain the crowd, and do my job. Every show, after the show, I say I'm done. I've been 38 years doing this, so, after the show, you really got to think about it. If it's a real rough show, a lot of competition, you're wore out at the end of the show. You get beat up in these trucks. They beat you up. You can't slam these trucks 14 foot in the air and come down. You drop out like a rock. It hurts. It'll get you. The tire weighs 1,100 pounds. They're $3,000 a piece. The truck itself weighs 10,000 pounds. All the weights in the rear ends and the motor, basically. The frames, they're heavy, but the body's 60 pounds. That whole fiberglass body weighs about 60 pounds. So, you got all the weights in the metal. Well, I'll use 5 to 10 gallons of methanol every night. After every time, I'll hit them cars 4 or 5 times. That's at least 5 gallons of methanol.
That is a custom-built ride truck called the Beach Bum. He was trying to go with like a beach theme, the buggies back in the 70s and 80s that you'd see on the beaches. Well, that's what you call 6 months of hard work, dedication right there will get you. He's put a lot of time and effort into that. He actually has his own monster truck also called the Stir. But this is his new one right now, Beach Bum. It gives rides to passengers that want to get the feel of what it's like to sit up high, go over the bumps and the rough course in a monster truck.
Living in Hawaii, you need the best, and WeatherTech floor mats from Waikiki are the perfect choice. When those unfortunate accidents happen and your plate lunch goes to the floor, WeatherTech mats will be there to protect, and they're easy to clean. Deep channels trap water, dirt, mud, and sand, and they're available for hundreds of makes and models, so no matter what you drive, you'll find a perfect fit. WeatherTech floor mats. Find them at Waikiki on Dillingham, just ever of Kalihi Street.
Welcome to Island Driver TV. I'm Rachael McMahon. We're at the Dillingham swap meet where one man's trash is another man's treasure. Let's go on a treasure hunt. We're here at the first tent. Notice we got some Hot Wheel cars here, always classic. My brother and I grew up collecting these. We got some gassers, we got some Mack trucks, and we have a 1967 grill from a Nova. I got an idea. I'm gonna build a car today. Got a socket set. Oh, I got a steering wheel too. Stir 4 on the floor, we're on our way. I'm here with Tio, and I need some parts for my motor. Will that fit in my 350 67 Nova?
No, it won't. It fits a big block Chevy.
Oh, too big, okay. Well, how about if I take this license plate? I'm gonna have to start somewhere, at least be legit.
Sure, you can have that one.
Thank you so much. Hey, Ted, I'm building a 1967 Nova. I got a license plate, a shifter, and a grill, and a steering wheel. I need some rims. Will any of these fit my car?
Oh, sorry, these are Chevrolet, but they're for a truck. So, good luck. Hope you find
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, got it.
I've always wanted a 1967 Nova, and I'm on my way. I see you have a fuel injection system here, Rod. Tell me about that. Would that fit in my ride?
Only if it was a 4-cylinder.
Oh, how come?
Well, because it used to be a 8-cylinder, but now it's a 4 because we cut it in half to make a 4-cylinder.
Oh, bummer. Thank you so much.
But that'll fit in there.
Oh, what's that?
That's a torque converter.
Maybe I could take that one. That one will fit, and that one too?
Yeah, you got to talk to Justin over at Kahala Converters.
I'm building my 1967 Chevy Nova. What are the chances, Steve, that one of these transmissions will fit in my car?
All 3 transmissions will fit in your car.
Which one's the best?
The best one will be the center one.
Oh, cool, I'll take it. I'm building my 1967 Nova. I got my shifter, my grill, my steering wheel, my license plate, and I'm almost there. I got my transmission, and now I found my axle rose. I'm on my way with my 1967 Nova. I got my license plate, my grill, my muffler. I have my converter, 2 tires, a bucket seat, steering wheel, and her shifter 4 on the floor. Just a few thousand more parts to go, and you'll be seeing me driving around in my dream car.
You work hard all day long. And when it's time to play, you play just as hard. And through it all, your Waikiki seat covers are working hard too, taking the punishment you give them and defying the effects of dirt, sand, and water. Waikiki can handle everything your lifestyle demands. And when it's time to relax, you know you've made a smart investment. No matter what your lifestyle, Waikiki has you covered.
Can I help you?
Do you have a replacement for this oxygen sensor?
Oh, yeah. Watch this. Hey, Rick, what do you think?
Zirconium dioxide, 5-wire. Yeah, we got that. That's part number 24302.
What aisle?
3rd.
Shelf?
2nd. From the bottom.
That's like a superpower, like a strange and specific superpower.
I heard that.
Let me get that for you.
Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Quality parts.
Helpful people.
That's Napa know-how.
Welcome to Island Driver TV. The Antique Car Club of Hawaii is having a gathering at Triangle Park in Kahala, and we're going to check out the vehicles and talk to the owners. So you can never tell what kind of car this fellow Chuck has. Just look at his hat and his t-shirt and the car behind me. It happens to be a Nash. And what year is it?
It's a 1955 Nash Rambler.
So I see it. It's a very interesting color. How would you describe that?
Almost original, and 55 was the era of this. It's kind of a coral color.
Well, tell us about the super horsepower that this particular car has.
This has got a little flathead 6 in it. It's 196 cubic inches, basically, and it gets me over the Pele, and it drives just fine.
Okay, and an automatic or stick?
This one is a hydromatic.
Ah.
Nash bought hydromatics from GM.
So like 3-speed?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you had it?
I've had this about 2 years. I found it of all places out in Makaha.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was the person doing with it out there?
Well, I saw it on Craigslist, and I said, being a Nash guy, I gotta go look at least. And it was sitting in a shed, roof only, no walls, covered in bird poop to block off the ocean. So I said to the man, if you get it so it'll start, I can drive around the block and stop, I'll buy it. A week later, he said, come on over and take a test drive.
Wow. So how many miles did it have on it then?
Right now it's got 32,688.
Oh, geez, barely broken in. And it's still under warranty, I'm sure.
Well, it must be. But, it's been in multiple states on the mainland, but it's never been in snow, so there's no salt wear on the undercarriage or anything.
So how frequently do you drive it?
I try to drive it at least once a week to keep the fluids moving.
Oh, good. So we'll take a look at the car in more detail. Thanks. So in keeping with the theme, Bill has his Oldsmobile shirt, Oldsmobile hat, and behind me is his Oldsmobile. It has a little story as to why he bought it.
Okay, as a child at 16 years old, young man I guess, my grandfather back in Georgia gave my brother and I an acre of peanuts each. We sold the peanuts at the end of the season and got $500 between the two of us. I was the older of the two. So I got on the back of a friend's motorcycle and we ride down to Tallahassee, Florida, 90 miles. At 16 years old with $500 cash, I go down and buy a car. You couldn't do that today, but I buy the car and had $10 left. Drive the car back, and so that was my junior and senior year in high school. I was one of the only kids around with a car, and I loved it. Then I went to the Navy, and my brother had the car for his 2 last years in high school.
And it was an Oldsmobile.
It was an Oldsmobile, just like this one here, except ours was a 2-door, did not have the visor on it, and it was the green color that we have on the bottom, and then it was two-tone in that it was light green on top.
So when did you get this one?
Got this one about a year ago. Had been looking for one all over the place for about 20 years. Not looking hard, but going to different places and looking for a car. And we'd be riding the roads, my wife and I say, we got to find me a 50 O's. Well, we never found one. We found a lot of junk, getting modified and all that. But then right here on Oahu, within about 2 miles of my house, the thing appeared. A Navy guy had it, was going to rebuild it. Looked a little worse than now. And he kind of ran out of time and didn't, so he put it up for sale, and I jumped on it.
And this has got the V8 engine, overhead valves.
That's correct.
How much horsepower?
135.
And automatic?
Yes, sir. 4-speed automatic.
4-speed?
Yep.
So it's a beautiful paint job. And did you have to do any chrome work or anything like that?
No chrome work, just a lot of polish, elbow grease, but had it painted here, a local guy, and had new upholstery put in it. And then I have a console in the middle that I put in it. It's the only thing that's different about the car.
Well, thanks. Great story. So keeping with the theme, we have Fred, who is the commander-in-chief of the Hawaii Antique Club. He does have the proper hat because it's Ford Model A, which is the car behind us. But his shirt is a mixed plate because it isn't all Fords. But anyway, tell us about your particular Ford.
Okay, thank you. Today I brought in my 1930 Ford Model A. Standard Phaeton. So it's 40 horsepower, mechanical brakes, restored as it was originally in 1930.
So how is it different from the famous Model T, which sort of started the Ford Revolution?
The Model T started in 1908 and ended in 1927. And though the motor is pretty similar, a 4-cylinder flathead, the Model A has 4-wheel brakes instead of 2, electric start, electric lights, and is mostly all steel body. So it's a much improved Model T.
So the Model T had hand crank to start it up?
Hand crank from 1908 until into the teens. They kept the hand crank all the way along until the end of production when they finally added a starter. But the early ones were all hand cranked.
Wow. So what have you done to this particular one?
This one, nothing. Unlike my other cars I've had over the years, this one was restored locally. Originally came from San Francisco, where it was assembled, and was sent to Kauai. And it's actually pieced together of several cars, all the best parts put together, and was restored in the early 1990s.
I hate to ask this question because the IRS may be watching, but what do you think the value of these are at this point in time?
Good question. Sad news is they haven't changed much. One like this is about $30,000.
Really?
Back in the 1990s, they kind of peaked, and the collectors who were mostly interested in this are guys who grew up in the 1950s and 60s, had these as their first hobby car in high school or college. and now they're moving on. So the top speed of a car like this for cruising is really about 50 miles an hour. They don't stop quick, they don't steer wells. So people now want more modern cars. So it hasn't changed. About 30 for one like this.
But this is a real attention draw, I can see.
It is. It looks like $1 million to a lot of people. So it's a lot of show for not a whole bunch of money.
That's it for the IRS. One thing you can say about having antique cars in any area is it attracts a lot of attention. Very interesting, and hopefully next year they'll have a bigger crowd of vehicles for the antique gathering here at Triangle Park in Kahala.
It's only a matter of time until this happens to your car. You can either go to a body shop or go to Mirage Paintless Dent Repair. Mirage specializes in the craft of paintless dent repair. It's the art of removing minor dings and dents without the use of fillers or repainting.
At Land Rover Honolulu, we only use Mirage Dent Repair because he makes them disappear.
Paintless dent repair is 1/3 of the cost of traditional body shops. We offer a mobile service to your home or office. Most repairs are finished within 16 minutes. The original paint stays intact and there's a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
If you have a dent, call my dad, 368-5584.
Can I help you?
Do you have a replacement for this oxygen sensor?
Oh, yeah. Watch this. Hey, Rick, what do you think?
Zirconium dioxide, 5-wire. Yeah, we got that. That's part number 24302.
What aisle?
Third.
Shelf?
Second. From the bottom.
That's like a superpower, like a strange and specific superpower.
I heard that.
Let me get that for you.
Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Quality parts.
Helpful people.
That's Napa know-how.
I'm Joe, and this is my sweet ride. This is a 1985 Cutlass Supreme. When I got it, completely stock, about a year ago, and let me show you what I've done to it. All right, so one of the first things that I did to this car was I went ahead and I put the rims on, and I got them from OG Wire Wheels. They're 100 spokes, 13-inch rims. One of the big things that we do on the lowriders is we pick out the rims first, and that's really going to set the style of what kind of lowrider you're going to build. To get to the next level of lowriding these days, a big thing that we're doing is the engraving on all of our trim, pretty much anything that's metal on the outside, inside. So I've done all the weather strip, all the trim around the doors. I've engraved all the glass, the steering wheel, the switch panels, my mirror, all the trim around the windows. To give you a good idea of how long it takes to do these engravings, I've got about 16 to 18 hours roughly into doing the driver's side and the passenger side windows. And that's only the windows. So this is probably the 10th lowrider I've built since I started building cars, and really hydraulics or airbags is something that's pretty standard in these cars. Hydraulics are going to give a little more power. As there we use voltage from the batteries. So really the more batteries you have, the more power you have to push your car up in the air. With airbags, it's really kind of a lay down, lift it up, and just cruise. The setup that I have in here with 6 batteries, I can get up the bottom of the wheels about 25 inches. We're about to cruise all day, so it's probably not a good idea to beat it up right now. And when we're driving these lowriders, they can be kind of bouncy, hitting the switches while driving. I feel like it could be a real art form sometimes, because you want to be as safe as possible, still have a little bit of fun. Really, you don't want to go too hard while you're driving, because you know the potential of getting into an accident or having something break on your car can be an issue for us. So really, I don't like to really be too hard on the car while I'm driving, but still real fun to do. So the future of this car is I'm going to finish up all the engravings on it. Anything that's metal is going to be engraved. Custom paint job. We're going to go all out with the suspension. We're going to chrome everything out and engrave everything as well. The motor still needs to be done. The motor's completely stock. It's only got 25,000 miles on it, so we haven't touched it yet, but the motor's going to be all chromed out as well. I do take this out on the weekends. I have a regular car I drive on a day-to-day. I'm Joe, president of Low for Life Car Club Hawaii. Hope you enjoyed my sweet ride.
on the island.
Living in Hawaii, you need the best, and WeatherTech floor mats from Waikiki are the perfect choice. When those unfortunate accidents happen and your plate lunch goes to the floor, WeatherTech mats will be there to protect, and they're easy to clean. Deep channels trap water, dirt, mud, and sand, and they're available for hundreds of makes and models, so no matter what you drive, you'll find a perfect fit. WeatherTech floor mats. Find them at Waikiki on Dillingham, just eva of Kalihi Street.
So every month we have the Auto Lunch Bunch, which is just a gathering of gearheads. And this month is going to feature electric vehicles. We have Teslas and the new Nissan Leaf. We're also going to have a spokesperson from HECO to talk about electrification of our islands for more and more electric vehicles. We have the Commander-in-Chief here, Nanette, of the local Tesla Club, and she's going to tell us about the club and what their activities are.
Sure, so we are the Tesla Hawaii Club, and we're actually a Tesla sanctioned club, owners club. There's probably about 50 clubs in the world, so we were one of probably the first ones here. We've been around since 2013 when there was about 50 cars here. Now there's got to be at least 1,500 in the state. We've got over 170 members in our club, and we just kind of get together. We do meetups, drive around the island, we get together, we talk about Tesla, and we just have a lot of fun talking to each other.
And they recharge their vehicles together all at one slot.
Oh yes, we charge. Although Teslas we don't really need to charge because we have a long range on our cars. So, but I'll admit that I do charge. If there's an empty space, I'll charge even though I don't need to.
Well, you just want that backup, right? Just in case.
Yeah, no. Electric vehicles are great. I think in the beginning people were kind of like, where do you put gas, and how do you charge it? And it's really easy. I go home at night, I plug my car in, full tank of gas the next day. So.
Okay, good, thanks. So the world's best-selling electric vehicle is the Nissan Leaf, and Luke's going to tell us about their newest model.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Luke Kamatule, a sales consultant at New City Nissan, and this is a 2018 Nissan Leaf. A new thing about it, it's got a 40 kilowatt hour battery, which get it 150 miles on it. Another thing about it is pretty cool. It's got the e-pedal, which is pretty new. Basically, if you could think about sitting in traffic all day long in Hawaii, going to work, going back home from work, it gets pretty tiring switching your foot from the gas pedal to the brake pedal. The e-pedal, you're able to just use the gas pedal. As soon as you take your foot off the gas pedal, your car slows down for you like a golf cart. Another cool thing is while it's braking for you, it converts kinetic energy from the front wheels and transfers that into your battery, getting you more mileage while you're driving.
Okay, well, good. And they've completely redesigned the exterior this go around.
Yeah, so it's really nice. Look at this model. It's a deep blue pearl model here. If you can look at it, it doesn't have those flaring out headlights like it did in the older model. A lot of people didn't like that. But if you look at it, what they try to do is create more aerodynamic design. So if you're riding in this vehicle, super quiet, super smooth riding. It's just really overall a great design.
Okay, thanks. We have Brennan here from Hawaiian Electric, and he's going to talk to our group about what the plans are for the future for electrification, I love that word, of the islands. Just a brief synopsis of what's coming up.
Well, I'm going to be talking a little bit about, the value of driving electric cars in our state. Electric cars are very much ideal and suitable for our geographies here. Our daily commutes are very short, up to 25, 30 miles a day. And so, if people start to drive electric vehicles or consider them, they can also save a lot of money on maintenance, on gas savings, because by charging charging a vehicle is far more cheaper than filling it up with gasoline. And so I think at the end of the day, our consumers save by owning an electric car, as well as Hawaiian Electric is able to take advantage of electric cars and the charging by also integrating renewable energy into our portfolio and helping the state achieve certain goals like the 100% RPS, or renewable portfolio of clean energy into our grid, as well as reducing the amount of carbon emissions in the air and increasing our energy security by having to rely far less on imported fossil fuels.
Okay, very good. So we found out about electrification and also lots of electric vehicles, and they are going to be slowly taking over. And that's it for Auto Lunch Bunch today.